Greetings, Benjamin J from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. I'll follow up on that $4.90 that arrived. $7.50 on eBay. I've cleaned up the shell, lubed and tuned the motor, got it fairly well lubricated, and this is up and running. Now you've noticed that I have removed the white stripe. The problem with the white stripe is once it starts getting scratched up, it just makes the locomotive look used. Take a black ink marker, cover that white stripe, and as you see, it makes the locomotive look new. So in any case, it's up and running. First trip around the rail, reassembled. I installed the nut on the brush plate, cleaned the brushes, lubed the axles, bearings. This is running absolutely perfectly. So first trip around the rail is a finished locomotive. Let's see how this goes. Headlight is installed. As you see, that is running absolutely splendidly. That is pulling 10 Lionel cars at about 40% power. Remember, this is a double reduction motor, so it has substantially more pulling power than a single reduction. So now it just needs to run. The longer this runs, the better it will run. This is running absolutely splendidly. So even if you didn't want the double reduction motor for itself, you've got a running locomotive for $7.50 that's in actually quite good condition. As you see, this looks virtually new. Like I said, you cover up that white stripe. When that white stripe gets scratched, it just makes the locomotive look used. That's all you can say about it. Take an ink marker, cover that white stripe up, the locomotive looks virtually new again. As you see, headlight works, runs forward and reverse, E-unit works with no problems at all. I've done nothing to this other than lubrication. Nothing else. I replaced the light bulb and the nut on the brush plate. This is starting to run a bit faster now, as you see. So that's what it needs now. So I'll run it about 10-15 minutes. Put another drop of oil on the bearings for the armature, and I'll just run this the rest of the day. Like I said, the longer it runs, the better it will run now. So I just want to do a follow-up video, and again, I've got to say it. Don't overlook the junk. $7.50 on eBay. There was 2 photos of it. So, was it worth $7.50? You tell me. That is running absolutely perfectly. It's running like it's new. It's got a good bright headlight. E-unit works. Really difficult to beat this. But like I said, that motor on eBay was $49.99 with $10.90 shipping for exactly the same motor as you see. So for the price of this single motor, you can buy 4 of these locomotives. As you see, running with no problems of any kind at all. Running like a brand new locomotive. So total I've spent, I don't know, 20 minutes on this, maybe. It hasn't been here more than an hour. So, had to replace one of the nuts on the brush plate, it was missing. Installed a light bulb, lubricated the bearings, cleaned the brushes, nothing else. Covered the white stripe on the shell, of course. So for $7.50, you simply cannot beat this. If I only use it for parts, it was worth more than that. So a good running locomotive. It looks nice. It runs perfectly forward and reverse. It has plenty of pulling power. Double reduction motor, running like new. So I just want to do a quick follow-up. As again, I've got to say this. Don't overlook the junk. You can do this pennies on the dollar just by buying things just like this. And even if you can't get it running, you can use it for parts. Out of one of these locomotives, you can usually fix 5 or 6 others. No two have exactly the same problem. But in this case, the only thing that was wrong with this is it had been sitting for years and years and years. Covered in oxide, very likely stored someplace fairly dry, a closet perhaps. No moisture, there's no rust on it. There was a bit of speckling on the push rods that came right off with a couple of drops of oil and a bit of rubbing. But I'm pleased with it. So I will very likely use that double reduction motor in something else. Use this shell for one of these motors that I built out of parts. That gives me a running locomotive and a double reduction motor for $7.50. And as you see, this is running absolutely perfectly. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money, or if you don't have a lot of money to spend on trains, this is the way to do it. Look for junk. Look for stuff that no one else wants. $7.50 in about 20 minutes of my time, if that. And this old locomotive is up and running. And running just absolutely splendidly. Running like new. Again, that's about 40% power pulling 10 full-size Lionel cars. And as you see, it's running faster now at 40% power than it was just a minute ago. I doubt if I could take this up to 50% power without it derailing. This is running quite fast at 40% power. And as you see, let's slow it down a bit. Okay, there's 30% power. That's pulling 10 Lionel cars, 10 full-size Lionel cars, with no problem at all. So I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video. It'll probably be the last video I do on this. Anyway, don't overlook the junk. Pennies on the dollar of anything else, just by buying stuff that no one else wants. As you see, this is running just absolutely perfectly. So I'm pleased with this. I'll be running this the rest of the day. And like I said, the longer it runs, the better it'll run. So just a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.